Hey guys, welcome to today's video and welcome on into my beauty stash. I have a couple new Too Faced products that I'm going to be trying out today. One of them is the new Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, and then of course I picked up the new Born This Way, also called Ethereal. This is Ethereal Light Concealer. Both of these products dropped at Sephora a couple days ago. I think I even put it in the community section, and of course I updated you guys over on my Instagram. The concealer retails for $26 and it comes in 18 different shades, and then the powder retails for $38, and this is just the only shade. It is shade Translucent. So side note before I begin this video, I've had the original Born This Way concealer, which they still sell that one, in my stash before. Didn't like it, decluttered it, and I also had the original setting powder, which I hated. I gave that away. It didn't do anything but cake up my makeup and just accentuate all of the texture, which I don't have too much texture, but what I do, it found it and it clung onto it, and it just, oh no, it didn't do anything for me. So when I saw that the powder was released, I was a bit hesitant. I knew I wanted to give the concealer a shot because you guys know I love to try complexion products, but I thought, well, okay, let me see. Let me give it another chance. A couple of my favorite powders have been discontinued. The one from Urban Decay, the All Nighter Loose Setting Powder, I think that is pretty much on its way out. And then, of course, the Peach Perfect loose setting powder from Too Faced. That is a holy grail powder of mine, which I have a backup of. But I just wanted to see maybe I could find a new holy grail powder, so that's why I picked it up alongside the concealer. So today I'm going to be wear testing these products out. I currently have them on already. Let me give you some information about each of the products. So let's start with the powder first. Again, it retails for $38. It says it's a silky lightweight powder that's going to, of course, set the makeup for a perfect luminous finish. Now, it also says it's infused with hyaluronic acid, but it says that it's going to be an oil absorbing powder. It says that here on the box, and I'm not seeing that on the Sephora website. So let me just go by what's on the box. It says it's going to absorb oil and shine. It says it's going to smooth the skin and help improve texture, which I'm really hoping it does. And actually, you know, right now I've had this makeup on for maybe almost 2 hours. I'm not complaining. I think it looks really nice. It says it's going to blur for a flawless complexion, and then of course, like I just mentioned, the hyaluronic acid, which is going to give a smoother, more youthful appearance. I don't know anybody who doesn't want that. It says that the finish of this powder, it says it on Sephora that it's a natural finish. I am a normal to oily skin type, oily primarily in my T-zone. I am 40 years old, just for reference. So I definitely need a powder that's going to help absorb oil and just, you know, keep me matte in the T-zone, but like glow everywhere else. Let's talk about the concealer now. So the concealer does come in 18 different shades. I know the REM Beauty Concealer just dropped a few days ago, and I did review that one. That one came in 60 different shades. So yeah, when you compare the two, as far as shade range goes, this needs some work, but still I think, you know, 18 shades, you know, I think that's pretty fair. But hopefully all of you that are interested in this concealer can find your shade amongst this one. I picked up the shade Buttercup, and I tried to get a shade that was almost the same as my skin tone. It says that this is a vegan concealer. It says it's going to be long wearing. It is infused with hyaluronic acid. It's going to be hydrating, obviously. It says it's waterproof, medium coverage, and it's going to provide a natural finish. When I think of concealer, I always think more medium full coverage, kind of more so full coverage. That way, if I'm wearing it with like a skin tint or a lightweight sheer foundation, then, you know, I can count on the concealer at least covering what I need to cover. So I guess that's fine. You know, that's usually what I'll look for sure, medium, but preferably full coverage when it comes to a concealer. It says that this is going to camouflage and cover imperfections for 24 hours. I will not be wearing it for 24 hours. I'm going to give it my usual 10-hour wear test today. It is a serum light buildable concealer that says it's going to effortlessly glide onto the skin. What else? Okay, another thing I needed to point out to you guys, because some of you, this might be of a concern. It's a skincare ingredient. It is infused with coconut water. Now, a lot of Too Faced products, they do contain coconut water. For me, coconut water can be hit or miss. Sometimes it can irritate my skin, and sometimes it won't do anything. I feel like I have pretty tough skin, so if something irritates it, well, it takes a lot to irritate my skin. Let's just put it that way. It also says it contains alpine rose, which is going to help empower skin's health and resilience. So that's about it. It is cruelty-free as well. And yeah, I think I told you guys everything you need to know about both of these products. So like I just mentioned, it is going to be a 10-hour wear test. I'm going to be setting my face, or at least setting my T-zone with the powder. I do have the concealer on already. One eye is set with this powder and one eye is not set. That way we can see what side looks better. How does it hold up? I know not everybody powders their under eye area, so I want to try this in as many different ways as possible. I'm also using the concealer to spot conceal on the sides of my cheeks where I have old acne scars and minor discoloration. So we're gonna put it to the test today. I've already run one errand. It is hot, it is humid, and I'm ready to put these products to the test. If it is your first time here on my channel, hello and welcome. My name is Steph. This is what I love doing. Foundation reviews, concealer, like complexion reviews, multiple looks with new eyeshadow palettes, makeup ranking videos. If all of that sounds good to you and you want to check out my videos on pretty much a daily basis, because I've been uploading quite a bit, do me a favor, click on the subscribe button, hit the bell notification icon so you'll be notified every time I do drop a new video. And if you like this video, if you like everything you see, please go ahead and give it a thumbs up. That really helps me out a lot. And as usual, guys, all of the makeup that I'm wearing, referencing in today's video, will be linked and listed in the description box. Some of those links might be affiliate links, so if you do end up shopping through them, I thank you so much for supporting me and my channel. Let's get started with this Too Faced concealer and powder wear test video. If you want to see how these new Too Faced products work, keep on watching. Alright guys, so let's start applying this concealer. I'm really excited about this one. Let me take it out of the box. Once again, I did pick up the shade Buttercup. So the two products that I've gone in with already are the Milk Makeup. This is the Pore Eclipse Mattifying Primer. This is a really nice primer. If you are like normal to oily, full-on oily, I'd highly recommend checking this out. It's been working really well for me. And then I went in with my new shade, which is shade 30 Light in the Urban Decay Stay Naked HyrdroManiac. I've been enjoying this a little bit more than I did when I initially reviewed it sometimes back. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that. Let's dive into the concealer. So let me do a little here, a little there. One eye I will be powdering down, and then the other I won't. And of course I'm going to use the new Born This Way Ethereal setting powder. Let me get my BK A506. And let's start with this concealer. I have not met a Too Faced concealer that I've been like over the moon happy with. I don't know, some of them just don't sit well under the eye area, at least for me. I feel like they just cake up or they accentuate texture. So I'm hoping that this new one will be a win. Okay, now it does say it's going to be a medium coverage. Medium coverage is fine. You know, I think for a concealer, I just prefer more medium full coverage, but we'll see if we can kind of build this up. Like, I don't mind if the foundation is a light coverage or medium coverage, because, you know, that's what the concealer's for, to spot conceal and kind of give the illusion of full coverage. I think that went on really nice. Now, of course, I just did my skincare routine a few minutes ago. That does include eye cream. I always apply eye cream morning and night. That is a non-negotiable. I think I'm going to add a little bit more though. I feel like maybe like right in here. I'm gonna do a little bit on my eyelids. Now, of course, you don't need to use a brush. I'm in love with this brush. And for me, it's just been applying my concealer so well. Okay, so I think that looks good. I definitely feel like there's a bit of a brightness. Again, I tried to get a shade that was more my skin tone shade. But I still feel like there's a little bit of like, I don't want to say dewiness. I don't want to say luminosity. It looks very hydrated. That's the word. It looks very hydrated. So the HyrdroManiac is more of like a light to medium coverage skin tint. So I always spot conceal in this area where I have old acne scars and minor discolorations. I'm just going to add some there. I'm going to add some to my chin. I'll do a little bit right in here. These are typical places where I would apply concealer. I have a little damp makeup sponge. This one's from Wet n Wild. Okay, let me take a closer look. Oh yeah, that looks very, very hydrating. But I do think it is a true medium coverage concealer. Now we're gonna try the powder. I did not have good luck with the first version. I'm actually not entirely sure what the difference is between this one and the one they had previously. Maybe a few ingredient changes, which I hope. But I ended up giving that powder away because I didn't like it at all. But I wanted to give this a try since my beloved Peach Perfect loose setting powder, they discontinued it, and it looks now like my Urban Decay all-nighter is being discontinued as well. At least the loose version is. So let's see if this works. Here we go. This is the translucent shade. So I'm gonna set the left eye some powder. I'm gonna pick it up with the sponge. Now this does say it's going to absorb excess oil, but it also said something about brightening. Yeah, it says it's going to provide a luminosity while also being blurring and brightening. Okay, so I think that looks really good. Does it look a little yellow? I feel like it kind of, I've been noticing that lately with my concealer and under eye setting powder. Like I noticed it yesterday. I kind of notice it right now, like a slight yellow tint. Yeah, I can see it now that I'm looking at it in the mirror. Not too sure why that is, but it looks really smooth. Looks really smooth. Okay, so I'm gonna use this to also set my T-zone. Okay, so I'm taking a closer look. That looks really nice. This powder like diffused the look of pores on my nose. My nose and like right in here is where I have the largest pores and they're visible. And this powder, I'm gonna add a little bit of powder right in this area. I am gonna be using like powder, bronzer, and blush, but you know, let's just set this area. We're trying out two things today, so. And I purposely chose a foundation that is like a glowy foundation or hydrating foundation just because I'm normal to oily and I wanted to see how the powder would help control oil. It does say it's oil absorbing. Okay guys, I think this looks really good, really smooth, but I do kind of see that slight yellow, maybe oxidizing effect. After I get done with my makeup, I'm going to be using the setting spray, the latest one from MAC. It is the Fix Plus Stay Over Alcohol Free Long Lasting Setting Spray. So I'm going to complete the rest of my makeup off camera. I'll be back after lunch. We'll do the midday check-in. You guys will see how this face of makeup is wearing. And of course, I'll be back at the end of the day to share with you guys my final thoughts on the setting powder and concealer from Too Faced. Hey guys, 5 hour check-in here with the new Too Faced concealer and setting powder. This is from the Ethereal collection. I guess that's what we're calling it. So here is the eye that I did not powder, and here is the eye that I powdered. I still feel like this one, when I applied the powder, it oxidized a little bit. So it kind of looks a little yellow, but it looks smooth. Like, it doesn't look bad. And at the same time, I don't feel like this side looks bad either without the powder. I feel like, you know, you can definitely see that it looks hydrated. I think you can tell that it's not full coverage. I definitely think this is a true medium coverage concealer, because I do feel like I can see a little bit of darkness right there, where over here it has a little bit more coverage because of the setting powder. Now, let's talk about the setting powder. So I feel like I'm already shiny on my nose, and keep in mind, yes, the foundation I went in with is like a glow type of foundation. It's a hydrating foundation, but I did go in with a mattifying primer, and then of course you saw where I powdered down this T-zone and this nose especially. But I feel like, you know, the oil, I think you can see that it's already starting to come through, even a little bit on my forehead. This top part, like, this is just the light that I have shining on it. But yeah, I can definitely see that the nose is starting to get shiny, even like a little into here. I feel like the oil is starting to peek through, but it doesn't look bad. I will say at this point right now, I much prefer these two new products versus the first version of them. So like the Born This Way concealer that is currently in Too Faced's lineup, I guess that's the more full coverage one. It's like a multitasking concealer. Hated that one. That one didn't work for me. The setting powder, when it was initially released, it didn't have the word ethereal in it, I don't think. Or maybe this is just a reformulation. I don't remember, but I hated that one. Didn't like it. It made my skin or my makeup cake up almost instantaneously. Like, it just added so much texture when normally I didn't have that much texture, you know. It just accentuated everything. So far these two new products are doing much better, way better, like 10 times better. So I'm glad I gave them a chance, but it still has 5 more hours to go. So I'll be back at the end of the day. We'll wrap up this wear test. We'll see what this complexion is looking like. I just got done filming with the new Colored Raine Secret Garden collection. I don't know which video you're going to see first, but they'll probably go up one day, within 1 day of each other. So definitely stay tuned for that. And I will check in with you guys a little bit later. Hey guys, 10-hour check-in. Time to wrap up this review and wear test, trying out these new Too Faced products. Let me start first with this Ethereal, Born This Way Ethereal Setting Powder, shade translucent. They only have this one shade available. So, like I've told you guys throughout this video, the first version didn't work for me. Hated it. This new version, I feel, is a lot better, at least for me and my 40-year-old normal to oily skin. I like it a lot better. However, I think you can clearly see the oiliness has been taken up a few notches. So my nose is starting, the makeup is starting to break apart because obviously the oil is coming through. I have not touched up. Even right here, because remember I did apply the powder right in here. You can clearly see there's oil right in here too. Right here, my forehead, the T-zone, it's definitely oily. It's in need of a blot. It's in need of a touch-up. But this powder does say it's oil absorbing. However, it's supposed to provide like a luminous finish. What does it say? It has like 2 different things. It says one thing on the Sephora website, and it says another thing on the box. So oil absorbing, smoothing, blurring, contains hyaluronic acid. I'm looking for the part where it says, oh yes, a veil of luminosity. It says it right here. So that's hard for me to wrap my head around. And I tried a Laura Mercier powder. I think it was the light catcher powder that kind of said it was going to do the same thing, and it didn't. It looked terrible on my skin. But this one seems to look better. I don't feel like it made my makeup cakey, which the other powder did, the original Born This Way powder. I do think it's blurring. It's a beautiful powder, but it's more of, I think, a finishing powder. I will keep this powder. I do like it better, and I will continue to wear this under the eye area because as you can see, this is the eye that I powdered down with this powder, and I think it looks great. But I also think this eye still looks pretty good, even though I didn't powder it. You can definitely see a more brightening, like hydrated effect over here than you can over here. I think you can clearly see that difference. But keep in mind, it might oxidize your concealer and or foundation. I really didn't notice it with the foundation. I just noticed it with the concealer for some reason. So I'm gonna have to keep playing with this powder. First impression, I don't really like it on my T-zone, and if I am gonna continue to use it in my T-zone, I'm gonna have to touch up during the day. Like, that's just gonna be a non-negotiable because clearly this is, you know, a shiny, oily moment. If you want some alternatives to this one, and I'm not gonna say that they're gonna keep you matte or oil absorbed, I think that powder is really similar to the Rare Beauty one. This is the oh, I don't know the official name of this one, but I have shade Light. This one I don't use to set my under eye area, but I will use it like all over my face with the exception of my nose as well. I don't use it under the eye and I don't use it on my nose. I feel like this powder provides a hint more of a glow than this one did from Too Faced. And then from the drugstore, this is one I really like, but same thing, I won't use this on my nose and I won't use this to set. Actually, no, I have used this to set my under eye area before and it's actually not bad. I much prefer the matte version of this powder. It's one of my holy grails at the drugstore. This is the Flower Beauty Miracle Glow Satin Finishing Powder. This is a beautiful powder. Beautiful. I recommend both the matte and glow version of this one. I picked mine up on the Ulta website. Let's talk about the concealer. So the concealer is a true medium coverage. I don't think this is going to be something that's really going to be buildable. And if you're looking for a hydrating concealer, then I think this is actually not bad. Out of all the Too Faced concealers that I have tried, I will say that this is so far my favorite. The other ones really just didn't work for me. They caked up, accentuated texture and all that stuff, but this one isn't bad. And once again, I picked up the shade Buttercup. I think both under eye areas look pretty good. I mean, I'll leave it up to you whether you want to powder down or not. I think it provided decent coverage on the sides of my cheeks. I mean, it's just a true medium coverage. I would prefer a little bit more coverage, but I mean, this was a nice one. It's a nice versatile concealer to where you can wear it either with or without powder, and I think a lot of you will like it. It's just going to be a matter of finding your correct shade. There are 18 shades available to choose from. And that concealer is available at Sephora and on the Too Faced website. Now, if you want some alternatives to this Too Faced concealer, I like, and I have this one from LYS, the Triple Fix Full Coverage Brightening Concealer. I feel like this provides a little bit more coverage, although I know a lot of people out there have said this is more of a medium coverage. I find it to be more medium full coverage, but they're very similar. These are very similar. So if you already have this one, you might not feel the need to pick up this one from Too Faced. I also brought out this one from Dior. This is not my favorite Dior. I'm a bigger fan of the Dior Forever Skin Correct, but this is their latest one, the Backstage. This is also like a medium coverage concealer. However, between this one and this new Too Faced one, I like the Too Faced one over this one. This one was kind of a miss, I think, from Dior. At the drugstore, I have two options for you. One, I know a lot of you have been raving about. You've been loving this one, and I have a review over this one on my channel. This is the NYX Bear With Me Concealer Serum. Very similar. I won't say similar in texture, but similar like in finish and what they do. The Too Faced and this one, if you don't want to spend the 26 bucks on the Too Faced one, you can spend like the 12 or 13 that this one costs. For the NYX, this is a really pretty concealer. I feel like this one has more of a slight mattifying effect than this one does from Too Faced. So if you don't want like all this hydration, this kind of like luminous look, this one might be a better option. I feel like this one just dries down a slightly bit more matte than the Too Faced one. And then last but not least, an old fave, the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer, which I also think is more of like a medium, more of a medium coverage. I wouldn't say I get full coverage out of this one. Even the NYX is also like a medium coverage, but this one is only like $6, $7. It comes in, gosh, is it 30 different shades? And this has always been in my stash, e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. The shade I have here is fair beige. So those are my thoughts, guys. I'm going to continue to play around with these products, but I would say it made a good first impression. I'm not like extremely head over heels. I'm not saying that these are going to be new holy grail products. You know, but they're not bad. I would give them 4 out of 5 stars if I was going to rate them on that scale. But let me know your thoughts, guys. Let me know if you picked up any of these products already. What has your experience been with Too Faced concealers and powders? I really miss the Peach Perfect powder. That was such a good powder, especially for those of us with oily skin. But yeah, sadly, that one has been discontinued. Leave me your thoughts. Leave me your comments down below. I want to thank you guys so much for watching another one of my videos. You all have a great day or night, wherever it is you all are at. Stay hydrated, guys. Drink that water. I will see you all very soon. Bye.